夜幕降临，流光溢彩，璀璨灯火，点亮夜色，峥嵘百年，再添光华。各位央视新闻的网友，大家晚上好，这里是我们璀璨中国的北京
CCTV, good evening.
广播电视总台的记者蒋林，在这儿。
This is the newsroom in Beijing. I am Jiang Lin, a reporter from the CMG. Welcome to our special program for the 100th anniversary of CPC. Just like every night, we will have some shots of the light shows across different cities in China. You may exclaim that China is so big. Spanning from south to north and west to east, in many cities, the sky is not totally black. And with their most splendid shows, they are going to tell us the stories of their cities. To celebrate the centenary of CPC, many places are staging the light shows. Against the black skies, the light shows are crisscrossing, and such splendid light shows are explaining the best wishes of Chinese people across different cities. And the 100 years of undertakings by the CPC is magnificent, and we hope to pass on such a spirit. In the past half a month, the CCTV News, together with different cities, is bringing to our viewers many magnificent nights and putting them together. That is a splendid China. Today, we also will have Hefei, Shenzhen, Zhengzhou, and Lanzhou cities to present us the light shows. For example, in Shenzhen City, we're going to take a red train to cross the whole city. but you will see that in this dedicated train is a little bit mini-sized. We're gonna go to the landmarks in Shenzhen, and we're gonna talk with the graduates from high school. And then we will go to Hefei of Anhui province to the Swan Lake. The dozens of buildings will be connected by the lights, and against the sparkling lights, they are telling the story about the party in that city and the transformation the party brings. Also, we have about 100 li of a yellow river crossing the city of Zhengzhou, and the splendid belt of lights will also fly over the sky, and the drones are ready to fly as well. Technologies added by the light shows, it will be breathtaking. And in our show today, it's already the 10th day of such a program, and tomorrow is going to be the July 1st. I see that a lot of viewers are leaving their comments and posting their comments, and they say that those light shows are just like creating the atmosphere specifically for the July 1st. And we are truly looking forward to July the 1st. It's already around the corner. So, happy birthday to the CPC. Okay, while we're talking, we welcome your interaction. Like I said, the light show is to create the atmosphere. So when those different things of the lights are connected and put together, CCTV hopes to stimulate our viewers, to cheer you up, actually. And we welcome your comments in today's program. Which city do you prefer? You can give us suggestions. And since today we will cover different cities in northern and southern China, do you have something to say about the cities? And what about your feelings right now, the night before the July 1st? We welcome your comments, and we're going to read your comments anytime in this show. So, back to the topic. The first stop is the beautiful city of Shenzhen. Different from the previous method, today we're going to have a different angle, a different perspective. I learned that in Shenzhen, they're going to embark on a bus. It's a red bus, not just literally, it represents the CPC. And of course, the bus is coated with red colors as well. So to board on such a two-layered bus across the Shenzhen cities right before the July 1st is truly meaningful. Particularly, we're going to interview some Gaokao graduates. We will listen to their ideals, their aspirations, their bond with the nation, with their homeland, and how they are dedicating their youth to building China. So, now let's begin our journey in Shenzhen. To my colleague.
各位央视新闻的朋友们，正在收看网络直播的网友们，你们好，我是深圳广电集团的记者刘映映。
Dear viewers of CCTV, I am Shenzhen TV reporter Liu Yingying. I am now standing in Shenzhen. As is known to all, tomorrow is the birthday of the CPC, and Shenzhen has prepared a special gift for the party. That is the very cute red bus, the red chubby, as we nicknamed it, behind me. I am really touched by this bus. It's chubby, and there is no need to lose weight for the bus. Just take a look. For this double-layered bus, it is one of the biggest in size in China among its peer buses, and there are 48 seats inside. As to the features of the bus, aside from being cute and chubby, it has a very interesting feature about it. That is, it is actually a mobile party affairs service center. This bus will cross different landmarks in Shenzhen, and we are gonna take you to different sites to feel the red culture in Shenzhen. Now we are at the platform, and let's look at the route of the bus. It will cross by Lianhua Hill Park with the Deng Xiaoping sculpture there. And Huaqiang North is home to the electronics development. And from where I am standing is the site to observe the night life of Shenzhen. For example, this is the CBD in front of me. And there is a light show tonight. The theme of the light show is also related with the Centenary of the CPC. With the route in mind, now let's get on board. Hello there. Thank you for taking your time for this live broadcasting. Actually, you're working overtime. When should you get off the work? We work from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and then 7 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. So from 7 to 9:30 p.m., we could take on this bus to observe the night views. And as I said, this bus is also a party affairs service center. And since this bus is taken by us for specific purpose of broadcasting, we don't need to wear facial masks right now because we're not open to the riders anymore. So here, this young man is one of our interviewees. Could you please introduce yourself? I graduate from Shenzhen Experimental School. My name is Chiang Hai. Actually, we came here 6 p.m. today. And since this is the first mobile party affair service center, and for you to get on board of this bus, what's your favorite part about this bus? I love this reading corner. I love reading. The moment I stepped in, I was attracted by this corner. On this long journey on the bus, to be accompanied and surrounded by the books, it's a really interesting experience. In such a mobile center of party services, there will be a lot of books about the party. And which one book is your favorite? I love this book. It's called The Spirit of the Special Administrative Zone, because I live in Shenzhen SAZ, and I have my own interpretation of the SAZ spirit. I think it's about be daring to be the first one and be daring to explore the unknown and pursue happiness. You're giving us a lot of expressions about be daring. It's like a good composition, a high-scoring composition. I believe many of the 18-year-olds would share such a feeling. You're all at a crossroad of your life, and you will start applying for universities since the end of July. So I'm really curious for such daring youngsters, when you are going to choose your ideal university, what's going to be your methodology and your attitude? You can answer that question later on. Now let's explore more in the bus. Mu Ye, you seem to be performing with no tools at all. Could you please show us what it is? This is a VR system. I was attracted by this. It may be invisible to our viewers. It's actually just air. There is nothing to grab, but suddenly we seem to click on something. While it's nothing but air, it's actually a screen. Now we can see something. Could you introduce? When I was young, I loved Star Wars. And there are a lot of advanced technologies in the movie, like such cutting-edge VR systems. I thought it was so cool, and I thought I could never live till the day the technology is born, but now I made it. It's such a systematic technology. It has a lot of contents. It has introduction about different sites in Shenzhen and the interactive games and the digital Shenzhen and some landmarks, for example, the digital model of the Citizens Center and also the party history lectures, the lectures by the experts. It's really a brand new form of presentation. For example, listening to the lectures, it's just like the masters are just popping out of the screen in front of us to give us lectures. And also, it's the holographic laser projection. You could feel the shock from such a technology, and you feel close. Just now, we met Haozhe and Muye, and the theme of Shenzhen's light show is about interviewing the youngsters at around 18 years old, and their teacher and classmates are waiting for us on the second floor. And I think the interior of the bus is truly cool. It's really punk. People prefer such a modern and technological feel about the things. It's good to see you, Madame Shi. Take your seats, please. Now let's do more introduction. We just met Muye and Haozhe, who shared with us about their interest in this bus. So now it's your turn. Self-introduction, please. Hello, everyone. I am Xu Yihua, a teacher in the Shenzhen Experimental School. I teach the students in their third year of high school, and those are my kids. They must be your pride. Of course, they had very high scores this year in the Gaokao examination. Could you please share with us that for those 18-year-olds, do they have any worry during this time? What are on their minds? I think their biggest worry right now is about which city, which university, and which major to choose. Am I right? And I think between the two choices of whether choosing what I love or loving what I choose, that's going to be an eternal dilemma for the Gaokao takers and many media groups, including CCTV experts, giving suggestions to those kids. And we truly want to listen to the kids themselves about what's their take about their future aspirations. I especially invited 4 of my students to share with us about their choices. Yili first. She has been waiting for long. Could you please share with us about your ideal for your life? What is your plan for your life? Have you considered about the future? What's your attitude and what's your criteria? I prepared. This is my notebook. I wrote my future pathways. I said, and I wrote, I hope to be a Chinese teacher. Only that, not just that, but I have an idea already. I have put in the recitations. For example, some slogans. I've recited those slogans for many times during the high school, and I'm inspired. So, what's your inspiration about. There is a saying that education is about the cloud influencing the other cloud and the soul awakening the other soul. That's why I want to choose a normal university to become a teacher. When I grew up, a lot of teachers helped me greatly. For example, the teacher in my primary school once gave me a big hug. I was warmed. And my junior high school inspired me to press ahead. And my high school teacher gave me the words that we shall not follow others blindly. I learned to be reasonable and to be critical during the high school. Those are guiding my ways through darkness, and I learned not just knowledge, but more importantly, how to be a person, and I really want to follow suit. I do hope that with my help, I could change more people's lives, and I want to be a teacher in the border areas, in the villages. I could actually interact with my inner self doing that, and I hope to travel across the world. I hope to tell everyone that they are loved by many others, and I want to do whatever I can to support those kids living in mountainous areas. And I once talked with a party secretary in the border areas, saying that they need a lot of educators in the border areas. So I was struck, thinking, how about we coming there one day? Just like General Secretary Xi said, education is the process of looking up towards the better, towards the betterness. Like you said, your teachers gave you love and kindness, and with that kindness and love, you may go further to the villages and to the border areas with that same kind of love and kindness. So, thumbs up to you. For Ili, her aspiration is quite practical and quite vivid. What about you? My name is Li Nanyu. I'm also their classmate and a student of Madame Xu. Nanyu, could you please share with us? I once asked them privately about who do you want to be in the future, and Nanyu told me that just like Ili, I have a very clear road planned for myself. So what does it look like? It's The Little Prince. It's a book. I have a direction set for myself, be it my future career or my life. We have different roles. But I think The Little Prince is a guide and a miniature of my future life. The impressive thing about The Little Prince is to remain true to your initial heart. Just like the Little Prince, he's made it to different planets. He met a lot of people, the business people, the king, but in the end, he chose to be what he used to be and to follow his heart. He planted a lot of roses, but he still loved the only one rose. So, whatever major I choose or career I work on, I would always love my beloved one and become the one I've always hoped to be. I want to be true to myself. So, to always remember where you started. Well said. Madame Xu is applauding for you. I'm really proud. Yili shared with us about her actual aspiration to be a teacher, and for Nan Yu, she shared with us about her takings from The Little Prince. And now, Haozhe, it's your turn. You seem to be a book lover. And now, could you please tell us that at this critical moment, what's your dream? Who do you want to be? And what do you take with you? I have a red packet. For me? Not really. It's a gift from my family. It reminds me something. Because of that, I had an aspiration. This is the RMB, and on my right hand, that's the foreign currency. I remember once I went abroad for traveling because I needed to change RMB for US dollars and then to the other currencies. So when I was shopping overseas, it was really troublesome. I was thinking, since China is having a very high cost of forex while doing business with the other countries, so I hope to do something about the financial services, particularly about the currency. I hope to have RMB internationalization, and RMB could be converted directly to the foreign currencies, not just through the US dollars. And I hope to bring down the cost of forex exchange. That would be conducive to China's economic development. That's truly a grand ideal, but I have confidence in your generation. Maybe when you graduate from high school or from college one day, that will be a reality. Now, Mu Ye, what do you bring? It's a scale. It represents justice and fairness. So, who do you want to be, a lawyer? I hope to do something for the social justice. But I'm not choosing law as my weapon, instead economics. In the precision poverty alleviation process, I realized that we need to solve the problem of income imbalance to make the pie bigger. Then that's going to be the very good first step to solving the issue of injustice. I hope with the learnings of economics, I could contribute to social progress so that everyone can have the freedom of personal development. You mentioned about poverty alleviation. Last year was the year marking the success of poverty alleviation, and you seem to be concerned about the poverty issue in China and international community as well. So what inspired you in the first place about such an ideal? 2 years ago, I was in one of the social investigation works. I went back to my hometown and investigated the local facilities. I was struck by the backwardness. For example, in some places they don't have the good sanitation, and even the toilets, they just have to use the pits. That's really inconvenient. I hope that everyone could be enjoying fair treatment. We are the same, and we should do something for those underprivileged. So I paid special attention to poverty reduction, and the day that it was announced China got rid of poverty, I was really inspired. But of course, that's not the end of the journey. It's just the starting point of a new journey. We welcome youngsters like you to join this force of creating common prosperity for the nation as a whole, so that everyone could enjoy a better livelihood. So, Madame Xu applauds again. Please all take your seats. Every student is taking something to share with us about their future plans and their ideas about their future. I think for many viewers right now watching this show, they may be high school graduates or they may be the employees already. they might not have a very clear plan for themselves. So they may have confusions. For those group of people, what's your suggestion to them based on your experience, especially about the graduates from high school? Listening to the 4 kids, I was relieved. They seem to have a very clear path plan. I think it's really worth it being their teacher. The day I became their teacher, I made a plan for them. The plan is about a spiral development. I hope to guide them to keep readjusting their own personal plans based on their actual situation. That may be the start of their clear pathway. I am thinking, if you're hesitating as a graduate of high school between major and university, my personal view is that it doesn't matter to study any major. You have to know that your major doesn't determine your future career choice. In any post, you need more than just one discipline. It requires different disciplines and different skills together. So I think the thing really matters, that is to learn the fundamental knowledge. Not every kid gets their ideal scores, but to have every step solid, they are already lucky enough. So tonight, on this bus, we shared with those young kids at 18-year-old. Say hi to our viewers again. And also 18-year-old is the threshold for applying for the CPC. So I want to ask them. Oh, by the way, today is someone's birthday, Yili. Now you are qualified to be a CPC member because you are 18-year-old. So what's your feeling about your birthday? Do you want to apply for the CPC? What's your take about the party? I once said, I have clear plans for my 18th birthday. I already said that I hope to submit my application to the CPC. And I also want to donate my blood on my 18th birthday. But regretfully, I didn't write the application form today. I will do it someday later. I do want to be a CPC member because my grandfather is a CPC member, and he has been a soldier for 13 to 14 years. After being retired, he served as the deputy party secretary of that local village. He was also a People's Congress representative. He did a lot in the villages, helping the villagers to pave their roads and to hold a lot of activities. I remember when I was young, my grandfather went out a lot. Even though he was retired, he would help their villagers. I once said that I hope to be a person like my grandfather, so I want to be a CPC member, and I want to contribute to the party and to the Chinese people. So firstly, you need to be a teacher, and then you can give more. Anyone who wants to be a CPC member? Now let's interview the one who has already hit the ceiling. With your hand, you were the first responder to my question. So what's your idea about the party? I have a model of CPC Madame Xu. She allowed me to understand the party's caring for the people. She has a notebook writing the concerns, the questions on our minds, and then every day she answers the questions. And also every month she will write a letter to our parents, and our parents will respond as well. I feel that CPC members are truly loving the people around them. They are loving their career. Just like my teacher, I hope to be a CPC member, to be a loving person, a caring person, a person to practice our faith. Now, Mu Ye, are you eager to share? When he was sharing just now, I think he already had a very clear goal. He hoped to improve the income of people, to have common prosperity. So, what's your expectation from the party? Years ago, like I said, I was in a social practice. In my hometown, I went through 10 villages and I engaged with the village party secretary, who impressed me a lot. They knew the answers to my questions. For example, which household has a toilet and how many toilets there are. They know it by their heart. They don't need to hesitate to answer my question, because after I had numerous questions requiring a lot of detailed data, but they can do it. And when they talked with me privately, they shared what their villagers have done. And they were very happy about such a campaign. For example, according to one village party secretary, he shared about a cultural activity, saying that all the women in the village are very excited about this activity. I think I was truly inspired by their down-to-earth spirit, and also they are very practical. They have their own methods. They have a very good relationship. They get along with the villagers. I learned that the people-orientedness and serving the people are not just empty words of the party. So you want to become one of them, right? Last but not least, you just raise your hand swiftly. What's your reason? My teachers are mostly the CPC members. Impressive thing for me is my Chinese teacher shared that when he got vaccinated as a party member, they must be the first batch of people to be vaccinated. I was hit. Our party is truly serving the people. Unlike the other 3 classmates, I choose politics. And there is one specific chapter in the book about the CPC. Many stories in the book enabled me to feel that serving for the people and governing for the people are not empty words. And I read a news this morning from People's Daily saying that the proportion of female party members is less than 30%, and the party members with the education level above the college is less than 50%. So as a woman, I think it's no problem for me to be a college graduate. So for people like us, we must voluntarily and actively apply to be a CPC member so as to dedicate more to the Chinese people. Like you said, there is only 30% of CPC members being females. There will be more females to be admitted into the CPC, and they will try to get more benefits for the women. Lastly, Madam Xu, as a party member for 35 years, you are a veteran party, and also I have 14 years of teaching experience. At this festive day, what's your feeling and what's your wish for the party? Yesterday, I was watching the July 1st medal ceremony. Madame Zhang Huimei, the recipient of the medal, gave a speech with her hands shaking. I was touched. I was touched by her perseverance and her fight against the illness. I was touched by her decades of contribution to the children's education, particularly the girls' education. So I was thinking about myself. So we were the same kind. I have been working hard on my post for years. With my love and actions, I am practicing my initial mission. I have been dedicating my youth to this undertaking. With my deeds, I am honoring my commitments to the party, while I was given an oath to the party. So they shared a lot about their personal ideal and their expectation and their responsibility as a CPC member. I think to wrap it up, we must stay true to the younger us. And just like the spirit of this bus, we must contribute to the society and the people around us. Let's give our best wishes to our party. Happy birthday, CPC.
好，在刚才这段直播的最后呢，镜头回到了此时此刻深圳璀璨夺目的夜景当中。
At the end of the show, we saw the night view of Shenzhen city. In the beginning of the show, we were looking forward to the bus running on the street of Shenzhen, and then the interview will be taken on mobility. But just then, the bus didn't take off, even though we didn't see much of the night view of Shenzhen in different landmark sites. But we will find the other opportunities to show everyone about the landmarks. The kids were shocking to me. I feel that with their youth, they know themselves, and they're trying to create a young China. And with their youth, they are trying to bring such a young nation. 100 years later, when you look back at today, you will agree that those kids have maturity. They are clear about themselves, and they are confident. 100 years ago, many young generations were just like them, or maybe older than them. Because of those young people and their awakening, China could be transformed in the next 100 years. So, listening to the dreams of the 18-year-olds, we have more confidence about the next centenary. I do want to thank those graduates for sharing with us about their dreams. I have another feeling. Economic development brings us not just the beauty of the city like high-tech. The city development will influence many households. It will bring us educational fairness, and the dreams will be sold in the kids during the educational process. In their sharing, you must agree that the kids are proud. Along with the city's development, they have a sense of responsibility for the society. So those 4 18-year-olds and that one teacher showed us the splendid dreams they have. Thank you again. So just then, we were feeling the charm of the Shenzhen locals and their charming dreams. And some viewers must agree that Shenzhen has beautiful night view. Why not allow us to have more sights, have more sightseeing? Next, we will give you more about the scenery in Shenzhen. You would certainly agree that the night of Shenzhen is technology-based. You will be shocked by the technological sense of the city. Now, let's look more. The CMG reporter will bring more to us. I am now in the citizens' center of Shenzhen. Since June the 25th, every night from the Lianhua Hill Mountain, they light up the whole city from the east to the west. Such a light show is like telling the story to the whole world to celebrate the centenary of the CPC. In Shenzhen port, the 10,000-ton capacity of the boats are ready to sail, and the lights in the buildings are giving out the warmth of the city. Together with the rhythm of the song, the light show is started. 3 strong light beams shoot at the night sky, and the party emblem is presented in the sky. 2,000 drones were put together to form the shape of the party flag. It's flying high in the air of the city. As a pilot city of socialism with Chinese characteristics, Shenzhen City is people-oriented, and all the lights are brightened by the people. The lights were spread out from the highest building of Shenzhen. According to General Secretary Xi Jinping, reform and opening up is the key pillar to determine the destiny of China. And the party is just like the lighthouse for Shenzhen. Shenzhen is a city with vitality, innovation. The fleet of drones form the shape. That is the showcase of the SAZ spirit. Time is money and efficiency matters. Generations of locals have been fighting hard. This sculpture is themed under taking the risk. That's also the spirit of Shenzhen, about daring to be the first. This is Chiang Hai. The previously desert place now is turning into a hub of high buildings. Dream seekers shoulder a new mission to build a pilot of socialism with Chinese characteristics, to create a highland of high-quality growth and an exemplary city. In the pilot zone, the demonstration zone, they are in a golden era of development. Together with the other cities of the Greater Bay Area, Shenzhen is teaming up to be a demo city in the future.
灯火里的深圳青春婀娜，灯火里的中国胸怀辽阔。
Shenzhen city wrapped by lights is truly appealing and charming.
组成了特别的图案。
It is inclusive.
12号飞船飞入
2021 drones are forming a very special shape, that is the Shenzhou 12. It shows the process of how Shenzhou is connecting with the space station, and all the spectators are shouting for this scene. And now it's a big pong bird taking off into the sky, representing the spirit of Shenzhen to be a booming city.
新时代的深圳将在以习近平同志为核心的党中央的坚强领导下，
In this new era,
闯的精神
Shenzhen will follow the leadership of the CPC Central Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at the core,
刮目相看的
and it will try to write more stories of the spring to create new and greater miracles in order to awe the whole world.
好，刚才的这样一段灯光秀的画面，我相信可能弥补了我们在刚才去感受孩子们青春梦想。
Just now, the light show
面上略微有一点点
must compensate your regret, because in the beginning, in the bus, you saw nothing about the scenes in Shenzhen. But now with the light show, you will feel more about economic development of Shenzhen. Shenzhen never fails the title of a SAZ. And looking back,
这样的发展让我们看到了
you will agree that China never fails socialism and vice versa.
的互动评论啊。
That's why we are seeing the prosper.
的这个
Now let's read the comments.
梦想的时候，确实我觉得惊艳了很多的国人啊，很多人都
When the four kids were sharing their dreams, many people
国的未来一定会
were surprised, saying that there are so many young people, they are excellent, and our nation will be stronger. Another comment reads, I hope everyone is just like those four kids. I hope everyone has their dream and they can fight for their dreams. With dreams, you have power, and our future is foreseeable. Let's continue our program
合肥的灯光璀璨。
to celebrate the centenary of the CPC. Hefei is staging the light show in the dozens of buildings along the
展现祖国的
Swan Lake.
表达交
Such a thematic light show is to tell the history of the party and the transformation of the nation. It hopes to show their determination to follow the guide of the CPC, and they also have the technology. For example, Ying Kesong
接下来我们要跟随的
and
是
Ma Fuqiang are shown
张腾飞
in the light show
一下
to showcase the advanced,
腾飞。
the augmented technology. Now my colleague will show you.
这里是央视新闻为大家带来的特别节目《璀璨中国》。从今天晚上的8点钟，我们的直播。
Welcome back to our special program. It's already 1 hour in our program. We just saw the real-time lights in cities of the nation. You see that it's already the nighttime everywhere. And to be honest, during our show, we are trying very hard to connect with our reporter Zhang Tengfei. We are still preparing. So for our friends from Hefei, your hometown will be with us very soon. Let's readjust the sequence a little bit. Zhengzhou first. To celebrate the centenary of the CPC, Zhengzhou has prepared about 100 buildings and over 1,000 drones. They also have tens of thousands of colorful lights across the whole city to brighten up the night sky. This is a splendid city, and with that splendor, it's celebrating the centenary of the CPC. And in Zhengzhou City, their light show is about to begin. So now, let's experience more about the prosperous central plain area in Zhengzhou. Good evening, everyone. I am Tian Meng, a CMG reporter. Now, we are in a plaza of Zhengzhou City. Tonight, Zhengzhou will brighten up the night sky with light shows. With that splendid light show, it is celebrating the 100th anniversary. And with our camera, you will experience the beauty of the city. Before we start, please allow me to introduce our special guest. He is a historian, Yan Tiecheng. Good evening, everyone. Mr. Yan, tonight you will follow our steps to fly over Zhengzhou. Now let's enjoy the show of the night in Zhengzhou. We are seeing this building. It's called the Big Corn by the locals. It's a very new landmark building in Zhengzhou. And you can see the characters of celebrating the centenary of CPC. The building is over 120 meters high. And now we are seeing the Henai featured patterns on the building. That's like the inner heart expressed by the locals to the party. This is a very ancient tower. In 2005, the SCO Premier Summit was held here. Many heads of states visited this special building, and the Big Corn became a sought-after place to take photos. It also bears the profound culture and the promising prospect of Zhengzhou in the future. The big corn is really bright, and also it's in red, the festive color. And there are a lot of stories about the central plain here in the city. We are seeing 1,520 drones flying in the air of Zhengzhou. The drones are changing their positions. Now, as you can see, they shape the characters like the great CPC lives long. And there are more, like our tablet in July will forever be erect. And they are giving their best wishes to the party to celebrate the centenary. They are also hoping for a more prosperous country. Mr. Yan, we were seeing many locally featured patterns, so could you please interpret about those patterns? For example, the big container It's a representation of the traditional Chinese civilization. Zhengzhou was the birthplace of the ancient Chinese culture. For example, the first such a wine-holding container was found in Zhengzhou, and the bighorn as well. Interestingly, the bighorn was taken from the Songyuansi Tower. Zhengzhou locals call it the bighorn. They also call it the bamboo shoot. It's burgeoning. Now we can see the CBD around the bighorn is connected with the other two districts. 20 years ago, this place used to be a farmland. 20 years later, the lakes and oases in the past were turned into a brand new city. The district area is about over 100 square kilometers with about 1 million population in Zhengzhou. Zhengzhou is expanding fast, and according to the data in the city, there is an area about 7,400 square kilometers in Zhengzhou as a whole. It exhibits the development and the expansion of the city. 70 years ago, when the new China was founded, the city area was only 5 square kilometers, and the population totaled 160,000, but now the constructed area realized 1,000 square kilometers, and the population is 12 million. Zhengzhou is among the top 10 populated cities in China. The lights in front of us used to be the dark farmland. This belongs to Putianze. We could see the hustling and bustling on the roads. People say that the night view of a city is like another appearance and outlook of the city. In Zhengzhou, it has two names. One is the bright city. The other is the green city. In the daytime, it's all green, and at night, it's all lighted. Now we are seeing another landmark, the 27 Memorial Tower. It's bright tonight. In the plaza, all the screens are showing the celebrating words. You may not know that at every hour sharp, the song of Oriental Red will ring on top of the tower. It reminds us about the memories of the city and always put in our mind our history. Zhengzhou is also called the capital of business. That's because of this area. The ancient history is interacting with the modernity. We are listening to the big transformation from the past. Let's talk about the city wall. It's 3,600 years old because it used to be the capital of the second dynasty in China, Dynasty Shang. We are seeing the palace wall and the city wall. The city used to be the biggest one of its counterparts in that time, and since then till now, 3,600 years have gone by. It used to be the biggest capital city in China, and it could be said as the oldest city in the world. The neon lights are everywhere. Now we are seeing the cultural zone, the Olympic Center, the Citizens Center, and the modern media center have also become the sought-after sites for photography. The lights are brightening up the city and also lighting up our inner hope. With the lights shooting down, people are gathering together on the ground, waving their red flag. On this special occasion, they are all hymning and dancing. The 1,520 drones are showing us the words like General Secretary Xi Jinping said, "The country belongs to the people, and the people are all that matter to the country." Zhengzhou is a city with vitality. once publishing the 7th census. Zhengzhou was one of the fastest cities to witness the growing population. It ranks number 5 nationwide. With more population, the city is more dynamic, and it has more source power to develop. Everyone in our camera is smiling, and they're all waving the red flag. On this special night, they're gathering in the culture center. They're singing for the party. From a city of only 5 square meters, with a population of 160,000, to today, it is a manifestation of the slogan that without the CPC there is no new China. Without CPC there is the new birth of the cities. From our daily lives, we can feel about it. Now the drones are shaped by the red slogan to celebrate the centenary of the CPC. The whole country is festive for that great day. In the past days, from the bottom of our heart and on our faces, we are happy. We have been preparing for the live broadcasting in the days, and wherever we go, it's crowded. Let's look at the big horn, the landmark. You can see a lot of local elements and the slogans to celebrate the festive day. We are sharing together with the party about our internal excitement. Now we are looking again at the downtown area, the landmark big horn of the city. I remember the year when SCO summit was held here. At midnight, the Chinese leaders invite the heads of states to tour around the big corn. Now you see the corn peeled off. It's the grain, and only with the grain, the food security, can we develop. So agriculture is the fundamental pillar of our country, and Henan is a key producing province of grains. We nicknamed this building corn with different intonations. It also means that we must guarantee food security. Now the characters read, go to Zhengzhou to experience the ancient states in China. And in Zhengzhou, we also have big mountains. Songshan Mountain was also the birthplace of the Chinese civilization. Yellow River is our mother river. So we could experience the mountains, the rivers, and the ancient states. The first village, the first city were all born here. The first kingdom was also born in Zhengzhou. So we welcome you to the central plain area like Zhengzhou City. Okay, Mr. Yan, today's magnificent light show and the happy faces are being shared with our viewers, and we welcome our viewers to pay personal visit to Zhengzhou. Please come to Zhengzhou. Thank you, Tianmeng, for bringing us this show. Zhengzhou is really bright tonight. And since this year, there have been a lot of cultural products or cultural elements from Henan province making the headline. The big corn, for example, is very popular recently. With the recent years of development and along with the economic growth of Henan province, Henan is trying to showcase the soft power of the Central Plain province, and it's turning the soft power to be a hard power in order to giving returns to the economic development. Now we are trying to connect with Tengfei, and Zhang Tengfei is now standing by the Swan Lake. So back to you, Zhang Tengfei. Let's experience a different China in the city of Hefei. Okay, Jiangling, I am now along the Swan Lake. Dozens of buildings are brightened right now. They are going to present us a themed light show called The Lights of the Party is Shooting in My Hearts. We see a big clock on the buildings. Now let's reverse the clock to the birthday of the CPC. In 1921, from the first National Congress of the party to the Red Boat, the birth of the CPC was a transformative incident for China, bringing hope to the suffering Chinese people. And among the Chinese leaders, there are two Anhui people worth mentioning. If you have watched a television show called 觉醒年代, you will remember two names, Chen Yanyan and Chen Qiaonian. They sacrificed and laid down their lives, touching the viewers. Today in Hefei, one road is named after them, called Yanqiao Road, and it leads to prosperity. The first CPC chapter was approved here. From the first National Congress to the second National Congress, the party team has been expanded. Now let's look at 1927. The August 1st campaign was shot, and since then, with the anti-Japanese invasion war and the liberation war, the CPC has undergone a lot. Last August, President Xi Jinping investigated the Crossing Yangtze River Campaign Memorial Hall in Hefei. He said that that campaign relied on the unity of the Chinese people, leading to victories of the CPC. And in 1949, the PRC was founded, and the new China finally stood up. And then the new China showcased the big power of this nation with the missile development. And then, under the leadership of the CPC, we have experienced 6 times of land reforms. The agricultural sector experienced a huge unleash of productivity, and the industries have enjoyed leapfrogging development. Now, in urban and rural areas, the outlooks have been reshaped, and our livelihoods have been improved. And then, in Fengyang, Xiaogang village of Anhui province, the agricultural reform was ushered in. Since the reform, our national strength has been boosted. Hong Kong, Macau returned to the motherland, and the Olympic Games in 2008 became a common memory of the Chinese people. Since the 18th National Congress, different undertakings in China achieved new achievements. The Shenzhou spaceship had successive successes, and China has our own space station. And together with Tiangong, we have Mozi quantum satellite with Anhui element. Under the leadership of the CPC, national defense went somewhere. Chinese people have our own fighter, and national defense could safeguard our security. Anhui is also taking on new looks every day. Take Hefei as an example. Last year, the GDP totaled 1 trillion, and Hefei leaped into the top 20 of science and innovation. And Hefei is learned and known by more people. Now we are seeing the Swan Lake. 12 years ago, it used to be just a big pond, and it was at the countryside, but now it has become a new landmark of Hefei city. Every day during the night, just like today, a lot of citizens would be here to have some fitness and experience the night views of the city. There are a lot of citizens here. We will interview some of them. Are you a local? Yes. What's your feeling about the show? I'm excited. Tomorrow will be the big day. So happy birthday to the party. And with the light show, we see the strength of the nation. And I do hope our people have better lives. Which scene hit you the most in the light shows? The scene about Xiaogang village. Why? Is it because of its relation with Anhui? Everyone knows that Xiaogang was the start of the rural area reform in China. In general, for the centenary of the CPC and the party history, personally, what do you think it changes your life? I feel that our lives turn better, particularly the cultural lives. It is fair to say that we even eat better than before. We enjoy better health care. So thanks to the good system, you are really excited. Thank you. And I will interview more. Excuse me, are you a local? Yes. Why are you coming here? Because I live in the surrounding, and this light show is really wonderful and impressive. Do you come every day? Yes, every night. Are you bored from it? But it's really appealing. Living in the surrounding. You must agree that this beautiful Swan Lake today was different before. Do you agree with that? Of course, big changes happen here. Under the leadership of the CPC, our lives are changing day by day. We are living in a better condition and we have higher sense of happiness. So which light show hit you the most, impressed you the most? The robots. It represents the innovative development of Hefei city. So what do you want to say to the party for tomorrow? Happy birthday, CPC. Thank you. Is it okay to talk with you? Are you coming alone with my spouse? So which scene hit you the most? Every frame struck me. For example, the Xiaogang village reform and the robots represent the innovation in Hefei. Our kids can learn technology here in the city. We believe we will have a promising future in Hefei. What's the change in your life? Big changes for me. For example, in my family, we experience more convenient transportation and more comfortable housing. On a daily basis, we could see the transformative changes. Our environment has been improved as well. Speaking of environment, could you detailize? We have cleaner air. Every morning we see green. It's serene and green every morning. In the morning, do you exercise with your couple? Yes, we come here. We live in the surrounding. We have a park around my house, and we have a lot of choices to exercise in Hefei. And a lot of people would dance on the plaza at night. Do you come? No, I just take a walk. Thank you. Many citizens are gathering here for the light show. The lights on the buildings are just one part of today's show. The thematic show in Hefei takes the virtual augmented reality technology as a backup. With your mobile phone, you will see a different scenery. For example, here, we see a very big pine tree. It's called Yingke Song to welcome the guest. This tree is a representation of Anhui province. Meanwhile, between the buildings, we are seeing the Matouqiang walls. It shows you the beautiful scenery of the villages in southern China. And now we are seeing a beautiful flower blossoming on top of one building. I just learned that the magnolia is the city flower of Hefei. So as a scientific city, the technological element must be integrated. We see the mechanical arms. Hefei has been known by more people. Last year, in 2020, GDP exceeded 1 trillion. Now, we are seeing the man-made sun. It represents the tokamak. As you know, there are so many such scientific installations and facilities in Hefei. Now, you are seeing the Mozi satellite. Not just the Swan Lake. Everywhere in Hefei, you could feel the festivity. For example, this is the Chaohu Bridge. It's brightened up by 90,000 pixels lights, and everywhere seems to be decorated in red. For example, the slogans like learning the party history to instill the fighting spirit. Everywhere in Hefei city, we could feel the very strong atmosphere to celebrate the centenary of the CPC. The most impressive thing for me is that days ago when I was taking the subway in Hefei, all the screens on the subway have been changed to the theme of CPC. You will see the words about the CPC centenary in the subways. Even if you are walking in the alleys, you will also feel festive atmosphere. When I'm talking, many citizens are approaching me. They must want to share such a festive moment with us. So let's interview some of them. Excuse me? My name is Liu Shijie. Are you a staff for the light show? No, I am working in the financial sector. I am wearing the suit of my entity. So I just come directly from my work. Where are you working? I was working by Binghu Lake, and I live in the government affairs district. It's very close. So what's your feeling? It's impressive. I once saw the lights in WeChat, but coming in person, I am hit. Which one is the most impressive thing to you? The 2008 Beijing, because that is the realization of the Chinese dream. We showcase the Chinese strength to the whole world. Speaking of the Olympic, a lot of the memories like the opening ceremony and the number of the gold medals came back. What's the change of your life? My life is changed along with the development of Hefei city. Like you said, the Swan Lake has been transformed from just a small pond 10 years ago. So you're a witness because you must have been here. 8 years ago, I bought my house here. It was a remote area, but now this place turns into a prosperous place. I said it's the name card of Hefei. You must agree with that. Yes, of course. From the number of the citizens here, this must be the popular place. Every night, it's very hustling and bustling. many people who want to dance or exercise would come here, and many young people would run along the Swan Lake, and there are a lot of fitness facilities here. When I was on my way, I noticed that many youngsters are speaking to their TikTok account. Yes, you will also see the elders flying the kites. Some of the kites may fly over 100 meters high. It's not here anymore, but I saw them. And now the kites are different. Some of the kites carry lights on them. When darkness firstly falls on the city, I saw the lights on the sky. I was really astonished. I thought it may be the UFO. Actually, was the kite. Yes, some of the kites can fly 100 meters high. Thank you for your time. You spoke the minds of Hefei locals. Over the years, Hefei has become a celebrity city, and more people learn and pay attention to Hefei. Finally, I want to say that at this moment, just like the other cities in China, the lights across Hefei City are being brightened for the purpose of the party. We are using the lights to pay our tribute and give our best wishes to our great party. And finally, I hope our party will be only better, and the Chinese people and the nation will be better. So back to the newsroom in Beijing. Thank you for bringing us such an interview from the Swan Lake in Hefei. You once promised us about your interview. Even you run late in the splendor of the city. Everyone feels the urge to say something more about their city. So that's why you take more time in your interview. And just as you said, those citizens voluntarily gather around our camera. It's not planned. They are just coming for the show. And such excitement in the hearts of the people light up the city as well. So thank you, Teng Fei. And next, we will invite Lanzhou. To celebrate the centenary of the CPC since June the 23rd, Lanzhou started the thematic light show along the Yellow River and in some landmarks of the city. The lights are on. The whole Lanzhou city is giving out splendor, and the crossing Yellow River is just like a bright dragon running to the far, and 600 drones will be presented tonight. Drones seem to be the standard equipment for such light shows. We will walk on the first Yellow River Bridge, and we are going to look back at the hundreds of years of history. So let's experience this sparkling happiness of the locals in Lanzhou. Now let's turn to Wang Yan. Good evening, I am reporter Wang Yan. Welcome to Lanzhou. Lanzhou is the only capital city with Yellow River crossing by. Since June the 23rd, the city initiated such a light show. I am on the landmark building of Lanzhou City. Tonight, we are going to experience such a miraculous light show from here. We are very lucky to have invited the planner of the light show, Zhang Yong. Good evening, everyone. From our camera, you can see that on the two banks of Yellow River, they are all bright. They are really eye-catching. And Mr. Zhang, could you please introduce that in this light show, what are the special designs and highlights? For the centenary of the CPC, Lanzhou dispatched different entities for the design of the light show. we focus on several highlights, for example, 10 bridges and multiple points. To give you more details, we would take the Yellow River as a key design boundary, and the port and the Iron Bridge, the Yellow River scenic spot, and the 20 kilometers of bridges at the number of 10 will be the highlights. Also, the citizen center will be lighted. We have beautified and greened those areas. Under the theme of red culture, we hope to revitalize the city. The thing about Lanzhou is that it's all red. It represents the red hearts of the locals. Tonight, we prepared 600 drones for the performance, and in the Yellow River scenic spots, there will be the songs like the Ode to the Yellow River. I saw that the 600 drones were preparing. I believe that tonight, on the Iron Bridge, you will experience the drone performance to the best. Now let's walk on the bridge and find a good spot for the observation. This 100-year iron bridge on the Yellow River was established in 1909. It has a close relation with Lanzhou. It witnessed the change of Lanzhou city and the 100 history of the CPC. I especially noticed that today the iron bridge is decorated in red. On a daily basis, this bridge is colorful. It changes color. Every week we have a thematic color. Recently, for the special occasion of the party, the bridge is all red. And there are 600 red flags hanging from the bridge. On every of such flags, it writes, "Happy birthday, CPC." That's the best wishes of the locals. And there are 27 bridges with different shapes over the Yellow River. So what's your design to beautify those bridges? 47 kilometers of Yellow River runs through the downtown area. For 20 kilometers, we have beautified in our design from Yantan Bridge to Shenzhen Bridge in the west. We have beautified the bridges. For example, in Yantan Bridge, it's basically in red. We call it a rainbow. And in the west, Shenzhen Bridge was also themed with our light shows. Listening to you, we have no idea of what it looks like. So now we will give you more shots. They were taken yesterday. So let's see more about the bird view above the Yellow River. Let's see what are the bridges looking like at night.
好的，欢迎回到桥面，先看到。
All right. Seeing the bird view, I believe Mr. Zhang is excited. Yes, I am. And now we see the drones. They are flying towards the iron bridge. They are showing the words of marching forward over 100 years. They are approaching us closer and closer. Many citizens are taking photos from the bridge. The theme of the drone performance tonight is to celebrate the CPC Centenary. Now we can see that they are changing. Now it's the red boat spirit. The history of CPC started from a small red boat in Jiaxing, and the red boat spirit forges the spirit of the CPC in the hearts of many Chinese people. It has become an intellectual treasure. We must carry it forward. On one small red boat, 100 years were carried forward, and the CPC led the Chinese nation towards a new era. Now the drones change position, and now it's taking the shape of the party emblem. It's in the shape of the X. The X represent the working class, the workers. And we can also see the sickle. Sickle represent the farmers. The CPC represent the great masses. For the masses to live a better life, that's the purpose of the CPC for 100 years. Now the drones change positions again. It says, along the Yellow River, it's beautiful. Do you agree? Yes, of course. Actually, at night, the Yellow River is really charming. I can feel the pride of Mr. Zhang. Over the past several years, with the Yellow River protection and high-quality growth campaign, you have done a lot. Now, along the Yellow River, it looks different. What's next? This is the water wheel. There is a poem that recites, "The Yellow River comes from the heaven." And the water wheel could be sourced back to Ming Dynasty. There are two theme parks. One is the Water Wheel Expo. And if you come to Lanzhou, you can visit the two parks to see the water wheels scattered all along the Yellow River 50 years ago. With the drones changing positions, the theme of this light show is presented. It says, "The glorious Mother River and all hearts united around the CPC." Yellow River is also the happy river for Lanzhou City. The river runs across the city, and the city grows more prosperous. And in the theme, you express the best wishes of the locals of Lanzhou to the CPC. Ode to the Yellow River. It's a modern creation. It is an ode to the spirit of the Chinese people. We listen to and follow the pathway of the CPC. The locals are advancing with their determination. We hope to sing the ode to the Yellow River in this new era. To tell a good story of the Yellow River, we must shoulder our responsibility for the Yellow River. So what's next? Let's take a guess. I know the answer. You take the guess. I think it's going to be a landmark in Lanzhou. It's about to take shape. And our viewers can take a guess as well. It's a very famous landmark in Lanzhou City. The sculpture of the Yellow River. A very famous sculptor created it. It's just a reclining mother caring for the baby. It also represents the perseverance and fortitude of the Chinese people. This is another name card of Lanzhou. It's a famous magazine called The Reader. Have you read it? Of course. Speaking of Lanzhou, we are reminded of one bowl of noodle and one magazine. The Reader has big issuance. It used to rank #1 in terms of the number of issuance in China. Now it's going electronic as well. Celebrating the centenary of the CPC is also flying in the air. So that's the end of the drone performance. Let's move on. Along the Yellow River, the lights are eye-catching, particularly this Brighten mountain. The outline is very beautiful, and you see a lot of visitors. Taking the boat on the Yellow River is another must-go choice for visitors. The night tour on the Yellow River is quite popular. To celebrate the centenary of the CPC, every night on our touring boat, we organize the visitors to sing the red songs. They are about to sing one. It's really a magnificent view. Looking from above the river, we can see 3 boats. Those are red boats. According to the party education, we are changing the boats to red, and there will be some party history education on the boat. The visitors are very excited. And those are just the activities around this bridge. And not far from here, there are more activities. Recently, to create dynamism along Yellow River, there are thousands of performances every year. To celebrate the centenary this year, we are adding the number of stages from 8 to 10. And on every stage, there will be the performance of sings and dances. Tonight, there is one main stage, presenting the performances to us. Yellow River is truly a happy river for the masses. In Lanzhou City, you always have some place to shop and to tour. Every morning, the 20 kilometers of walking pavement is open to the citizens. There are many citizens running or singing on the pavement. And every night, with our performances on the stages, they can appreciate the songs and dances. Previously, the northwestern journey in China usually started from Lanzhou, and now they may take more time here at this Lanzhou stop. We have more choices for tourists, like the tour on the Yellow River at night and the performances. They are very popular. And you have the old street and other scenic spots. They are saying hi. You must have felt the enthusiasm of everyone. They are singing for the party. So it's all bright and festive. Lanzhou changed a lot, and the Yellow River changed in the past 2 years. I remember in 2020, the air quality in Lanzhou had enjoyed good days for 312 days. We are very proud for it. Now, Lanzhou is going greener and cleaner. We are very proud. I know that there will be more regulations coming out to promote high-quality growth here. Yes. The Yellow River will be more beautiful with the campaign. If you look from above, Lanzhou City will be more beautiful. So now let's see the bird view. We have prepared a clip. With that clip, we are gonna enjoy what's Lanzhou looking like from above the city.
刚刚其实通过一段航拍的镜头呢，我们可以看到，在兰州市127座楼宇都纷纷亮起了。
With the aerial show, we see that 27 buildings were brightened up tonight, and many landmarks as well. The whole Lanzhou city is really delicate. Not just the landmarks, many small parks and plazas were brightened. Just now on the bridge, we sang a song. Everyone is enthusiastic. Mr. Zhang, you must be a local here, yes. So in your view, what's the change of Lanzhou compared to your memory of the city in your childhood? It's transformative. It's changing every passing day. Buildings are erecting everywhere and the locals are happy. We feel that it's a livable city. Actually, today, many visitors and citizens are gathering here, so we will interview some of them randomly. Are you a local? I'm a local here. And what do you think of the light show tonight? This is my first time to see such a grand drone performance. It's really stunning. It's miraculous. And being here in person, I could feel the magic of technologies. If we have more opportunities, I hope there will be more such shows in Lanzhou. It's really a feat for our eyes. It's a benefit for the locals. Well said. As a local here, what do you think of the changes in Lanzhou? I studied here and I worked here, so I feel the changes in Lanzhou. For example, ecology. The mountains are greener compared to 8 years ago, and the Lanzhou has become a landmark. It has become a name card, and also the subway and high-speed railway are giving convenience to our lives. Previously, when I want to commute to my university, it was difficult to take the train, but now it's only 20 minutes time, and our students and the citizens have higher sense of happiness. And people's life quality has been improved. Previously, when we eat out, it's just about noodles, but now, eating noodles is just a common thing for the households. So our livelihood has been improved, and we have a stronger sense of pride and happiness. You made a very good point. Tomorrow is the birthday of the party. What do you want to say to the party and the nation? I'm really moved as a CPC member. My entity today held some commemorative activities. I'm wearing the emblem. So, at this critical moment, I give my best wishes to my motherland. I hope... Excuse me, I'm too excited. I hope my motherland will be more prosperous and the Chinese people can enjoy safety and happiness. And as a CPC member, we will remain true to our initial mission and we will contribute to the great dream of socialism with Chinese characteristics and the Chinese dream. Let's fight together. Thank you. So in such an environment, it's easy for us to get high. We were singing the song that without the CPC, there will be no new China. Are you a local or a visitor? I'm also a local. Do you feel the changes in Lanzhou City? Big changes. The scenery line along the Yellow River is a highlight of Lanzhou City, particularly in the summertime. It attracts visitors from across the nation, and that's really giving us more pride as a local. What do you want to say for the centenary of the CPC? I would say more prosper to our nation. And I hope our people will be wealthier. Thank you. So this is about the end of the light show in Lanzhou City. We could feel the heated atmosphere. Tomorrow is the birthday of the CPC. We would love to give our best wishes to our nation. Under the leadership of the CPC, we hope our country will be stronger. Thank you, all our reporters, for bringing us the shows tonight. When the show comes to Lanzhou, it's already past 10 p.m., but still you see the citizens are lingering on the site. So they are very excited in such an atmosphere. Tonight, the lights are bright everywhere. Such shows of lights are telling the stories in the Chinese red. It also exhibits the openness, modernity, vitality, and fashion of the cities. With the images of the cities, we are seeing a prosperous China. Actually, we also feel the technology sense. We have visited Hefei, Shenzhen, Zhengzhou, and Lanzhou. The four cities together brought us an ode to the party with the lights. Now let's sum up a little bit. In Shenzhen, we saw the modern Shenzhen, and I believe that you must be impressed by the sharing of the high school graduates. They told us their dreams. They looked into their own future. Their youth represents the youth of China. And then we went to Hefei in such a beautiful swan lake. We feel that a new city district was developing. And also we listened to the history of the city. Then we went to Zhengzhou of Henan province. They used their drones to express the people of the Green City best wishes to the party. And last but not least, in Lanzhou of Gansu province, they rely on the Yellow River. On the Yellow Plateau, the people have been fighting for hundreds of years, and the China is really charming among the lights. The tens of thousands of land in China has never failed our promise. So we are seeing the lighted China with technologies and the artistic expression of the lights and shadows. We seem to review the past 100 years history. We are singing for this great era, and we look forward to a better future for the party and the nation. During our show, on our platform, we received questions. For example, those asking for Chongqing and Wuhan. Actually, Wuhan has been shown days ago, and tomorrow we will see more light shows from Chongqing. Another good news is, starting from June the 21st till tomorrow, in our everyday light show, the essence of every city will be put together. We hope to bring you a collection of scenic spots in the cities in the form of a music MV. So a preview of tomorrow. We will go to Shanghai, Chengdu, Chongqing, Nanning, and Suzhou to pay tribute to the party history and the splendid China. In the end of our show tonight, there will be 1,000 kids bringing us a song. The name is China. They belong to different age groups, but they have a very good voice. So, with their songs, they are expressing their best wishes for the centenary of the CPC. So, thank you for watching our program. Have a good night. Let's listen to the music.